Hello there, this is Sampada Agarwal CZT, and today is the 23rd of February. Right? We did 22nd yesterday, yes. So today is the 23rd of February, and this is the 23rd day that we are talking about Zentangle, and I hope that you're enjoying these sessions, the month-long initiative that I decided to embark on. So today we will explore a little more of previously used tangles, because a lot of times what happens is you have a lot of tangles in your arsenal, but how exactly do you use them? So, I thought it would be good to just not keep adding more and more tangles, but instead explore some possibilities of how to mix and match them. Okay. So, again, I appreciate and I'm grateful for this opportunity. So let's start with the 4 corner dots and the border. And now that we have our space to work on, today I'm going to add a string. Yes, I am. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just add a string that looks like, I don't know, a teardrop. And now that we have our string, now I'm going to, so this string here looks very organic, but we are going to try to fit a geometrical pattern in there. Okay, so what you could do is, and this is something that you could just explore on your own, but you could just go ahead and add these grid lines in pencil if you want to begin with. Okay, and so I've kind of contoured it on the same lines, and the only reason why I'm doing this in pencil is because I can now just go ahead and change my mind and make it as wide or as thin as I want. And the other side of the grid lines will also be curvy, because this whole grid has to follow this really beautiful curvy space that we have, right? So this is where I'm going to fit my tangle, and the tangle that I'm choosing today is FLUKES rather, right? So you might think, oh, FLUKES, how do I fit this in here? So all I'm doing is I'm just going over this, and you don't have to draw these grid lines in pencil. You can just go ahead and add them in pen. But see here, I'm just going to add these. So this is what my grid looks like, right? And now, as you very well know, the way FLUKE works is you just echo these lines and you fill in the innermost. Yeah, right? So this is what each of these FLUKES is going to look like. So you can see the grid doesn't have to be a very rigorous geometrical shape, but it can be a bit more curvy, and it can go around how you like. And every time we draw these smaller and smaller V shapes, we are echoing this outer shape that we have, right? So here I am just going to echo it like so. This is how it is looking here, and so I just echo it the same way, and you can see that we can effectively use a grid tangle like this, and you can take your time. It's important that you draw these lines with that same shape, right? And here again we have this going down somewhere, and this is how we end it, right? We could even draw a little bitty here to show that there is something going on there too. So this is how we are going to use our FLUKES tangle in a very different setting. So this should open up a lot of possibilities, right? So here again I'm going to make these smaller and smaller and smaller V's, right? And then here again we go ahead and you can see I have not added an ending line there, and by not doing so you're keeping this a bit more wispy and open-ended, right? So there you go. So this is how, and I could just fit one darker area in here to show that it's kind of going ahead, right? And so this almost looks like a pea pod or something, and then of course we can always add some what can we add here? We can add maybe ZINGER. How about that? Right? We could add some zingers here. And you can make them come down all the way. On this side too. And then we go ahead and add and this makes it very whimsical and fun, right? You can go ahead and add whatever organic tangle you want to add. And this just looks really pretty to me. You can always add more of these. You can even add a little bit of FESCU. I know we have done FESCU before, so we could add some of that as well. Like so. We could do a FESCU that is going this way. We can add something that is going this way. And there we go. This looks like a whimsical little pod hanging there. And then as usual, we just go ahead and add our shading, right? So I'm just going to make my graphite pencil marks first, and then use my tortillon or blending stump to spread the graphite. Okay. So we don't see any pencil marks per se, we just smudge it. So it's a smudging tool, and as I had mentioned before, it can be a rolled piece of paper, or you could use a paper napkin rolled up on your finger. A lot of people also use earbuds, so you can improvise. I know when we were kids, we just used to use our fingers, and of course that used to be a mess, because then every time you hold something, or if you're drawing something, you just make a mess of the artwork itself. So I would strongly recommend or suggest not to use your fingers, but instead just use something that helps you spread the graphite. And here we are just adding a little bit of a shadow, right? And similarly, we can also add a little dimension to our zinger as well. And there we go. And as far as the border is concerned, I for one prefer to smudge the border as well. You see, I mean, this one has almost like a mistletoe effect, I feel, if there is such a word. But there, I mean, this looks fine enough to me. And so just let me go ahead and add what else we used here. So along with FLUKES, we also used ZINGER and FESCU, both by Zentangle. And Michelle Beauchamp is a really accomplished CZT, and this particular implementation of FLUKES is inspired by her, from her. So please do check out her work as well. Let me write her name down so you can check her work as well. And there we go. I think I love how this worked out. So please don't feel that the grid or geometrical tangles have to stay geometrical. Okay, let me go ahead and sign, initial, and admire and say, this is great. This is beautiful. I would love to see your work and your comments on the YouTube channel. So please feel free to give a feedback. And I hope to see you again tomorrow. Happy tangling. Take care. Namaste.